The Community Preservation Committee meeting for October 10th, 2019 will come to order. The first item on the agenda is the update on the Rolling Ridge parking lot. I know we had a subcommittee of the committee that is going out there. Terry, do you want to give the update, or Brian?
Yeah, I mean, so we were out on site. Then we had a nice little kind of walk of get a sense of what the lay of the land is, try to understand some of the different topography. And I think we made a request of having the area flagged and staked. I have not been back out there since it's been flagged or staked. Have you?
Well, it hasn't, well, they've flagged and staked it, but we're still having our people do it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that hasn't been done yet, though.
Yeah, so we were out there with Amy and with Jean to try and get a sense of where the different, the proposed boardwalk was going to come through, and just kind of where the trail should go. Boardwalk's not on the table, but it was something that was discussed at the last meeting that maybe missed. So.
Who allowed the trail?
Who allowed which trail?
The trail that is proposed to have a boardwalk over it.
No one has approved that.
Okay.
That has not happened. That was
Okay.
something
No,
that was
I just-
discussed in
Okay.
last meeting.
Okay.
No, we have not agreed to any of that.
So we looked over the area for the parking lot, and we're not going to go into the wetlands whatsoever. And we're going to, what's the setback or whatever it is, 15 feet, or we're going to be, well, we're going to stay outside of that. 25 feet, or whatever it is.
But Amy was
They were there.
when we did it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
They were there, and so we staked it out, and then they're gonna, now they're, Gene is having, what's his name, Tom Sawyer there, is gonna do the work. So he's gonna be putting the parking lot in. So, I think they're hiring Sullivan, the engineer, is gonna do the exact layout, and then he's the one who's gonna stake out the boundaries as he sees them on the plan, so.
Okay, wonderful.
So that's all in
What's our, do
in
you know an
process.
ETA at all on completion?
It's Gene's doing it, I don't know.
I'll touch it.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
So that's that. I think that the point that I would make is, I think, we first focused in the meeting and looking at the parking lot, which was, we wanted to get that done and that clean, and I think we did. And then we did walk further, and I think we felt that it was important to stake out the limits of the work before we made any decision. And once we get done that, we'll probably come out and take another walk, and then I think we can collect all of the input, and I think we have to be extremely mindful of conservation requirements, obviously, as we do that. So when we do go out, you should be with us, Amy should be with us,
Yeah.
and we
Well,
will
that's
go
the
from there.
priority,
Yeah.
conservation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know
Exactly.
you said that that's it.
Yeah.
Utmost
So,
importance.
I mean,
We all agree.
yeah.
Okay,
Absolutely.
think we're-
Yeah.
I think we
Good.
want to understand exactly where that easement crosses the existing trail, as it is the existing driveway. Understanding
Yeah.
where that makes the turn. I think that was some confusion when we were out there, so.
So Brandon, I think at the last meeting, you wanted
Since
to-
we were on TV, would you mind going up and identifying yourself for the record?
Sorry, Lawrence J. Sorry, I'm a little late. Director at Rolling Ridge. Glad that moving forward with the parking lot. And so based upon the last meeting, I had Hugo Findyson from Findyson Survey. He came out and he restaked the area, so it's clear where everything is in regards to the, in terms of what's on the map and in versus where the trail needs to be. We're open to working with, with preservation to make sure that everything is accessible.
Well,
And so,
one point is, we are independently going to confirm the staking through our engineer.
okay,
That's the first thing. And secondly, please, at this point, do not do any creation of any trails or walkways, because I don't think we're in agreement.
that's fine. And so I think that.
you should, and don't do any clearing, or,
We haven't touched anything, and so I was under the understanding that you wanted us to bring out someone to stake it. I apologize if I misunderstood that.
no,
And
that's
so,
fine.
yeah.
It's fine that you did that, and we were just going to confirm it because we were going to be absolutely sure with
Oh,
our
that's fine, huh?
engineer.
And so I think I had given Denovan a copy of what Hugo had staked out, and so that's for you to make the decision I guess just let me know where you need me to come in. I know that there was conversation about rerouting the trail. If the decision is made to not reroute the trail, we're fine with that. We want to make sure that this gets in for the community, and whatever is going to work best, we're fine with it. We wanted to be able to make it more accessible along through the wetlands, but that's not the decision. We're fine with keeping it where it is, but the decision will need to be made about how to make stairs, however it is, to make it accessible to the community. So just keep me abreast of what you need me to do, and if you need me to come back to the meetings, just let me know. Okay?
Trails, also, wetlands also includes riverfront.
Okay.
So there are certain limitations on that as well, which are usually 200 feet from the lake. So, and that would be in Amy's purview for that.
Okay.
So,
Okay. And so it sounds like you've already talked with Conservation, so I had emailed Amy about getting together, but I'm going to trust that you'll continue to the conversations with Amy. And I'm just going to trust that you'll contact me when you need me, or do I need to keep coming back to the meetings for the updates?
you will be contacted.
Okay?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, good, thank you.
Any other questions at this point?
I think we're all good.
Good, and very good. So just, I guess, just let us know when the work on the parking lot's going to be done. It'd be great to be able to have that go in. I guess just one other question in regards to working with the North Andover Trails. We had talked with Glenn about putting in the sign. Is that something that you want to have the conversation with Glenn about, or how does that want to?
Right now, I don't think we want to do anything further.
No, I agree, yeah, I think we should wait until we are clear on our plan for everything.
Okay.
And then we can do it all. It won't take very long to do.
Oh, good, very good. And so I guess the parking lot will go in this year, or is it going to go in next year? Or that's kind of
Let's go in this year.
Good.
Should go in shortly.
good. That'd be good to see. So,
Great, okay.
very good. Have a good night.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is to close out 3 old projects. Drummond, 1360. Historical Records, 1314. And the needs assessment, 1363.
You can move those all at once, right?
Yeah, let's just, I just wanted to see, I'm just trying to match up the numbers here. 13,
They're not listed anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they are. Yep.
$700 balance in Drummond.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry, thank you.
Yep, 3,300 on the historical, and then
Yeah.
22,000, is that right on housing capital needs?
on the last one, the housing capital needs, just sort of, do we know for sure that we're okay on that and nothing is left to be done?
I would suggest actually with the change in administration most recently there, maybe we want to leave it open as the new executive director comes in and reviews the capital needs plan. She may have additional thoughts.
We haven't seen it yet, right?
No, we haven't gotten our full
So
copy,
we may
so-
ask for the more detail or something, so I think I'd just like to keep that,
I definitely-
until I have it in my hand, what we got.
Okay, good.
And we should probably invite her within the next
That
few
would be a
months.
great
I don't
idea.
want to overload her, she's, but I think we should definitely invite her.
Yeah. So, does somebody want to make a motion to close the other 2 out?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, good. Signage and website update, Bill's the website update, I don't know
He's
who's.
coming late, right?
Feels a little late, yeah.
Okay. Was he also going to talk about Center Realty Trust? 'Cause isn't he the one to talk to them?
I don't know.
I think it was Bill, too.
Okay,
I thought we were going to invite them to, once the new, I don't even know who the new people are. I haven't heard, but I thought we were going to invite them to a meeting and discuss it with the new people, just
Yeah.
what we thought and what we're looking for from them.
yeah, I think that would be a good idea. I think it would be a good idea. I'm not sure who it is.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, how about upcoming projects? People hearing anything?
I've not heard. Well, actually, I take it back. I do think, I did hear parking lots at some of the, at soccer fields, I think. I heard very surfacey.
I had a conversation with DPW on that, and he just said with everything going on with the gas, everything, he could not do the work to set that up this year.
Right.
But they are very excited about doing that if we were interested in helping them with that. But he said they just had no time to put any engineer time into that.
So I suppose if somebody brings forth an application, we can look at it at the time. I did, as I said, very surfacey that I heard, but.
Yeah.
What they have out there, we've all seen them at some point, they all have gravel parking areas. They're very, very hard to keep up. There's no drainage on them, there's no anything, so they get big potholes, big problems, and they don't have always machines out there to straighten it out, so they wanted to go to something that was gonna be, that would make conservation happy, that wouldn't, would hold its own, so it's kind of porous, that would,
So is it just Sharpness Pond Road, or is it?
Foster Farms also, I think
Okay.
it's the same thing, same issue. And I'm not even sure, I mean, unless it's under recreation, I don't know how we do that, but
Yeah.
I'm just,
I
it's,
think it falls under recreation.
Yeah, it would
so.
fall under recreation. I mean, it gets, after all, because we did the one for the trustees.
Right.
I mean, originally, back when CPA first came out, it was you could only do it on parcels that you purchased through that, but it's changed now, so.
see, the problem out of Choppin is they use that as the snow dump site, and that's just destroyed it. So
Yeah.
they would have to take that into consideration when they, whatever they put out there, how they're gonna handle that.
So. I go out there on Saturday mornings now, so, I know these things.
Full circle.
Yeah, so. Anything else? I mean, is there anything, I don't know, like anything coming from like the library? I know they've done stuff in the past. I mean, they've been talking about some more stuff,
They were
but,
there doing a lot of, they had everybody taking all the measurements, and I saw Steve has been doing quite a bit as far as that what they talked about under the stairs.
yeah, under the
But
stairs.
I
yeah.
see him doing a lot out there. I think they're setting something up to come. I'm assuming we're gonna get it, but I haven't heard anything. I can call Steve, though.
Yeah, it might be good to get some idea of them, I think the earlier they come in, the better off we are understanding what they're trying to do. Yeah. And nothing, ever anything on Stevens Estate, although that's sort of up in the air right now with the direction we go,
I'm not
so.
even sure where that sits exactly, so.
I think it just moving along the way it has for years.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to think, I mean, there's a couple things from the planning board perspective that indirectly impact us. The planning board approved the project on the KSC site, Louis project there, which is also where the senior center is going to be. That was recently approved. It's interesting because they built that as an affordable rate sort of thing, as opposed to any low income. And the same thing with the project down at the Mills near you, Terry. They're building that all, market rate housing, no affordable component to it. So there wouldn't be any CPA involvement in that. So those are probably the big things that have happened, recently. So.
In the middle school, the only update I can give you is that they're gonna be, they're talking about going to arbitration this month with the neighbors, and hopefully coming up with an agreement to shorten this whole process.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes over. I think that's a good way to go, because I think we want to make everybody as happy as we can, and get the project done. But
Yeah.
we'll see. They may not agree to go to arbitration.
Yeah.
What specifically do the neighbors complain about?
There's quite a list.
No, this is just, this is just hearsay, because someone had told me that people were up in arms and everything because CPA gave the money for that project. And a lot of people didn't think that CPA should have.
I don't think it's a lot of people. Let's start there.
Oh, it is,
It's a very small.
No. So one of my neighbors had said something to me about it, and I said that CPA does everything above board, and we would definitely not have allocated any money unless it was written in stone.
So what I think she was talking about is that people were saying we were paying for the turf. And we were gonna sneak it in, and that's not true. It's definitely not true. It's all been broken out, and it has to be. I mean, it's the law, and you know, it's very, very.
It's easy to follow while still helping that project.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean? There's no reason to kind of backdoor it.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
It's it should be. It shouldn't be a problem, you know. I don't know. Going back to Bill, and I know he's not here, but just on the signage, you know, before he comes, and something I want to touch base on. Even I would like to look at money if we could this year. Look at past projects that we could tactfully put in some type of a sign, even though I'm not.
Okay.
You know, it got going forward, but I think we should pick up the past. And you know, find a way. I'm not looking to put a billboard up, you know, I just want something that's nice, you know, and then he can talk about how it would go back to the computer and all of that, but I think we should just, certain projects,
Well, yeah, I mean.
that we could.
I think the question is, if somebody has kind of a, partly an aesthetic sense about how you do it,
Right.
what it looks like and so forth, and I don't know if anybody has got kind of those chops, but that would be the,
I don't think
and they could
there's-
even look and see
I
what some
don't
other
think
places
there's
have done.
one fits all. I think each
Yeah.
situation's gonna maybe have a
I agree with
different thing.
Yeah,
Because some would be a plaque, some would be, on a stand.
Is part of the goal to have some sort of CPC type branding to it so that it's easily identifiable as a project that we funded? Understand each one's a little bit different,
I think it's really important that the town sees what they're getting for their money.
Right.
You know, when they go to the playground, and every single playground is funded by us, and they go to the beach, and they see the buildings was built by us, and all these projects that we've been involved in that are all great projects for the town. And every time you walk on a trail or whatever, and you see that, I think it's important to know where this is happening from that money, because a lot of people, I think, wonder, where does that money go? And it's right in front of them.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's why, part of why it's important to have consistency from project to project. So someone may read one and see a sign looks, oh, wait a second, that's another CPC project, or that's another CPC
Well,
project.
that's why we were hoping that thing, and I have no technical skill, but that thing you can scan.
The QR code?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then that would go to a more set form type thing of how it came about. And
but to your point, is, I wouldn't use the term logo, but it's branding, I think is the, and so the idea is that, I mean, is there anybody in this town that actually has done anything like that, where you can actually, has created signage or, a
Caroline
brand
Paul
or,
created the merchant's logo.
yeah, something like that, maybe
there's a
she'd
guy
help
that-
us,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, she was in the news.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find somebody that's good at it and could help us, and I'm sure people would be
I mean,
willing to
There's a guy
do
in
it.
the mill who that's his business, that's what he does.
Well, let's go to him then.
Yeah, maybe ask them if, we could spend a couple $1,000s on something like that, why not?
I definitely think that CPC should have a logo. But to Tracy's point, there would definitely be, case by case, on each piece of land, a certain, either a plaque or, something else, but at least have that big CPC logo there,
Yeah.
so it
yeah.
stands out.
Yeah, so maybe the ask is, can you create some branding that covers a
Enjoyment of
bunch of different
community,
circumstances?
floors. Something.
Came to a meeting, and then we give him an idea of what he.
Yeah.
So I'll
That's a
try
great
and get, I'll
idea.
try and get him or one of his people to come
Yeah.
to our next meeting,
Yeah,
and
Okay.
then they can put together a proposal.
yeah.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. What do you think,
That's great.
CJ?
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. There's no website up there, but we got the signage done.
We got the signage
Sorry,
done.
Bill.
Okay, who wants to approve the minutes from the last meeting?
I reviewed, I motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Stay.
So do you want to declare victory at this point, or?
I think so.
Well, I was going to say, we have two people here. I mean, to ask you, what is, are you waiting with bated breath to find out what we do, or what?
No, we're actually law students. I take a land use class. I'm interested in getting into that sort of field. And we had an assignment to come to one of these meetings and just go to our local meetings,
This
see
is a
how things go.
boring one.
It's a boring one. You know, if you want
In
to
the
do
beginning, it
something
was
with land use, I mean, I happen to be a member of the planning board, and so I'm partial to that, but that's the best place to
Yeah.
go.
Right.
To see, how land use is done and how we make decisions and over time and so forth. And right now is a very interesting time because we have a number of really large projects in front of us, and there's you see a lot of issues with neighbors versus the projects, and how do you balance the interest of landowners versus people that live in the neighborhood and so forth. So it's actually pretty interesting.
Right.
Or you go to the Conservation
Oh,
Commission to get the
definitely.
real thing.
Because we're the highest rated committee that, we have such a good time.
That one committee keeps more lawyers employed than any other committee in town.
You'll find out how not to use land.
And we go by the book, okay? So you definitely should come.
Yeah.
Come back
Okay.
to us and we're not so boring.
So what do you have? Is this like a semester's assignment where you have to come and audit like different boards and stuff, or?
No, we just kind of have to go and there's a paper that we have to, reflect on and talk about. Answer
Yeah.
a couple questions. And, nothing serious, but it just helps to get into kind of the real world situations and see
Yes.
how it works. I used to work as a civil engineer, so I kind of worked on the, with the ZBA. Sometimes I prepare materials for that, so I've seen how it goes. But I
Yeah.
figured I'd come to something else. Like I've never been to a meeting like this.
Yeah, we're a little bit later in the process when we get applications in. It's actually a little bit more interesting, but, still you get some idea of what we do, so. I mean, certainly, if you're interested, you can reach out to Community Development Director Gene Enright. We finished a master plan recently. There's lots of stuff, so.
So when are our applications due? February meeting is what we're shooting for?
No.
Or earlier?
Yeah, February.
February meeting?
Yeah, February, yeah. We
And then we
probably.
start hearing in
And
February.
then we start hearing, yeah, so I have to sit with Donovan and give him all my files and, things and so forth, so. Okay,
It's a
do
wrap.
you want to declare victory?
Is Bill gonna walk in the second we motion to adjourn?
Sorry, Bill.
Yeah, so who's a motion to adjourn?
Aye.
You go home and watch a football game?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Aye, yeah.